You know, social media has really changed the way that we communicate, and even in the world of gaming, it has also been a revolution as well. Well, today we're going to talk about one company who's developing games right here in Thailand that are going to be a huge success around the world. So sit back and enjoy. Today I'm with Ferdinand Gutierrez, who's the CEO of Sandbox Global. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, you are, I might say, the specialty here in gaming. Here in Southeast Asia, what's your take though? What's your game really about?
The game is basically about fashion, and it's about women discovering the world of fashion through different streets and different types of styles. We feel like there's not many women's games out there, and I think we're filling a really good void in the industry, especially since most of the players on Facebook are women.
So this game is really one that you play through Facebook?
Sure. That's right now we're only on Facebook, but we're also exploring different avenues as well for distribution. We already have a deal in the Middle East and North Africa, and we're also going to be on different gaming platforms and on mobile pretty soon.
Well, you were just to kind of expand on your first answer there, looking at your target audience. Why is it that you're developing a game really targeted towards women and here in Bangkok as well?
Well, Bangkok is, believe it or not, the city that has the most users on Facebook. And plus the fact that they have a really growing e-commerce market here in Bangkok, I think it's an exciting place to be.
Oh, absolutely. Now, looking at some of the other success stories that we've seen through Facebook, a lot of you might call it the social gaming. Obviously it takes a lot to come up with that winning idea. So how much inspiration, how much really work went into just creating that idea initially?
Well, I think it goes back to research. I come from advertising, so we do a lot of market research. So the first thing that we did was looked at the market itself, and we realized that most players on Facebook are women. And that's how we started that first ball rolling. And then after that, we figured out what's really relevant with women, and fashion was one of the highest ranked topics that were for women, so we just went with that.
So you see a lot of potential here in Thailand, or in Southeast Asia in general?
I think it's huge. We're also doing things where we also have celebrities getting involved. We just have signed a deal with 2 Indonesian celebrities to be in the game,
wow,
which is really cool. Because now, with these 2 celebrities, you're going to have people going on to the game and being able to win tickets to Jakarta Fashion Week. So we're going to be giving online to offline benefits as well.
So you've actually tied in other promotional things with the game where, through your success or whatever you're doing in the game, you have a chance to actually win real world prizes as well.
Sure, we're actually going to launch something probably by this week for the Thai market, so look out for it.
Excellent. Well, behind every game, obviously, there's the developers, there's the designers, or the artists. Can you describe, how'd you put your winning team together?
Wow. We first started with just as a strategy group. It was me and another co-founder named John Lohr. We're both ex-Ogilvy, so we're very kind of adept to doing marketing. And what we've done is really kind of, again, go back to that whole advertising scenario where we do the market research and we build a product based on that. And from there, we tried to build a team that was basically senior focused first, and then we built the juniors in. We are believers in building a grassroots type of organization. So it's important for us to get top management to train the newer guys how to do and build games. Well,
looking towards that, the juniors, being here in Thailand, trying to source talent, do the Thais really have the capacity to really compete in terms of quality, in terms of programming, in terms of artistry and design with the other international games?
Well, in the startup world, it's basically attitude over aptitude. If you got the right attitude, anybody can build games.
Well, excellent. Well, how about you step us through what the game does? Like, how do you access it? What do you expect when you see on it? We'll have some video on the screen for you so they can see what's going on. But log into Facebook, click on the game. What's the name of the game, by the way?
It's called Stylista.
Stylista.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Stylista. All you have to do is in the search bar on Facebook, type in Stylista, and you'll see it.
You see it, and then you log in. And what you're doing, you're creating an avatar, or is it like a virtual? Is it kind of like a Sims, or is it?
Well, basically, it's you start off with building your avatar, and then from there, the game teaches you how to play. So basically, you're doing jobs, you're shopping, you're taking pictures of yourself, you're posting, and you're trying to build this whole virtual world around you. And we noticed that in Southeast Asia, a lot of the fashion that you can get is not accessible in real life. And what we want to do is be an avenue for fashionistas or stylistas in Southeast Asia to express themselves and to be able to show that they can actually put together great rooms and great designs.
So what you're really taking, it's not just a game where some designer out there has created some imaginary piece of clothing or some imaginary decorative item. You're actually taking pieces of designer wear that you would find in the real world
Yes.
and having it in the game.
Yeah, and it's totally aspirational, especially for these markets in Southeast Asia, for girls to have access to a Louis Vuitton bag or a very beautiful condo. It's all about the dream.
Well, looking at the social aspect of the game, how are you able to interact with, say, other players of the game?
You can actually go into the bottom nav, which is where all your friends will be, and you can see their closets. You can clean up their rooms, you can help them out, you can give them gifts. It's basically all the things that we do in terms of a social game.
Well, excellent. Well, kind of pulling back a little from the game aspect and looking towards more yourself, how long have you been here in Thailand?
12 years.
12 years.
Yeah.
Initially, did you think you'd be here for 12 years?
No. I thought I would be here for like 2 years, and I just loved it and I stayed.
How about your experience here? I mean, what's really kept you here?
I believe that there's no better region in the world globally than Southeast Asia. And Bangkok being at a central point in Southeast Asia and the lifestyle that you can lead here, I think it's an amazing place. It's fantastic.
Do you find, when you first came here and you first thought, you know what, I want to start a business, I want to be an entrepreneur. Was it difficult doing it here?
I actually didn't think about being an entrepreneur until about 4 or 5 years ago. I used to run a company called New Media. I was the CEO for that company. That was actually my first bug, is really understanding what it took to build a startup. My first startups were really in the Philippines. So I built that office from the ground up. And then I thought, why don't I build one in Bangkok since I love it here so much? So it was a natural progression for me.
Now, you've also been able to, let's say, lure some other expats to join your company as well. Mm-hmm. Can you talk about, you mentioned you start with the management, make sure you have a good core system there. Can you mention some of the people who are there?
Yeah, we have the three founders, is myself, John Lohr, and Peter Tyson. Peter's, you might have seen him on the Bangkok Post. He does a lot of management consulting, and he's ex-Accenture. He's literally a rocket scientist. So he does all our algorithms and does a lot of my business planning with me. John is fantastic. He's our main art director, does all the content for the game. We just hired 2 fantastic hires. One is Justin Farron. He's the producer for Gears of War, which is probably Microsoft's one of their biggest franchises outside of Halo. And then we got Zach Alcampo, who does game design, and he did the game design for the X-Men game for Silicon Knights.
Well, you're off to a great start, obviously. If you had to give some tips to the people out there thinking like, wow, why can't I be more like him? Why can't I do something like Sandbox as well? If you could give them one tip, one hint, one little nugget of information about how to be a success or to really follow your aspirations, what would it be?
Don't give up. Always believe in yourself. I think that everybody has a chance to actually succeed if you have the right vision and if you have the right passion for it.
Sure. Well, let's head right back to the game just for a second. A lot of these things, there's so much to talk about here. Now, I'm looking around here. We're actually in a fairly empty room here, but it's deceiving because you're actually expanding, yes?
Correct. We're just moving in. Today's moving day. So we'll have about 20 to 30 employees here, and we also have room downstairs for another 10 or 20.
Well, with your physical, expansion, your game is also seeing quite an expansion every month too.
Yeah, we grow by about 100,000 monthly active users per month. We now have built more infrastructure to actually accommodate more players. So you'll see that double and triple its pace over the next 3 months.
And what's your year-end goal?
1 million users.
1 million users. And you think that's a reasonable estimate?
Yeah, we're at 300,000 now, so I think we're on our way.
Now, you mentioned you had already opened up markets. You have South America. You have also in the Middle East as well. Are you able to tailor these games to those markets so you might have different fashions for them or different language interface or even, as you mentioned, different celebrities?
Well, our positioning is to be a leader in Southeast Asia. So we'll do all the Southeast Asia stuff here. We'll do all the localization and monetization platforms here. And when we go out to Europe or the Middle East or South America, we'll partner. So right now what we do is we partner with companies out there who will do the localization and will do all the translations.
Has there been any, coming from a technology background myself, I know that as Thailand is kind of catching up in terms of the infrastructure, we might say, have you seen any roadblocks in terms of establishing at least the technology here in Thailand?
No, not really. I think Thailand has access to a lot of world-class technology. What we want to do is access that and bring it into Thailand. So Thailand, it's not a bad place to be, actually.
It's really a nice central location. You can kind of jump around to anywhere.
Yeah, for example, our servers are in Singapore. We do a lot of the production here, and all the game elements are here.
Once you hit that 1 million users by year end, any plans to start maybe a second game?
We have actually a couple concepts that's pretty exciting. If you go into our Vimeo link, you'll see our second game. And it's very much about bringing more users outside of just a female target.
Excellent. We've been talking a lot about a game here. We've been talking a lot about the company, but we haven't actually talked about exactly what's the address we can go to find out more information about it?
You can go to www.sandboxglobal.com or go onto Facebook and look up Stylista.
Stylista, S-T-Y...
L-I-S-T-A.
Excellent. We'll have that on the screen for you just in case you missed it out.
Cool.
Excellent. Well, best of luck. Thank you much for joining us.
Thank you.
It's great to see such development going on here in Thailand in something which, as you mentioned, it's a market which has huge potential, but most people really haven't tapped into.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's great to be here.
Excellent. Well, thanks again. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Jan.
This is Bon Jakobsen and welcome to Culturally Yours. This week we continue to talk about the Bangkok Dance and Music Festival, which started last month through to October the 14th. So you only have this weekend and one final performance. So don't miss it or you'll have to wait one more year to see these internationally acclaimed performances. Flying in directly from Buenos Aires is Tango Legends as a fitting end to the festival. As the directors and tango stars duo, Mariela Maldonado and Paulo Sosa. They lead 12 award-winning dancers along with the remarkable quintet Vice Versa on stage this Sunday. The show has earned astounding reviews from international media such as the New York Times and the UK Ballet Magazine. With elegance and passion of tango, the show offers once-in-a-lifetime experience to the heart and soul of Argentina and its people. For more details, please log on to bangkokfestivals.com. So that's the entertainment for adults. Now let's take a look at something for the kids. Although I'm sure adults will enjoy it just as much. It's not every day that your favorite cartoon characters will come to life, but prepare yourself because Mickey Mouse and his friends are taking you to a new adventure in Disney Live Mickey Rock and Roll Show. As Mickey and Minnie search for new performers for their talent show, they come across Snow White, Cinderella, Buzz Lightyear, and more. The show promises family entertainment with top-quality music, choreography, and sceneries that will jump out straight from the silver screen. Kids will love the show and parents will thrill to it too. Get up close and personal with Disney Live at Muang Thong Thani during the 18th to the 21st of October. For more details, visit thaiticketmajor.com. So that's a wrap for today. I'm afraid our time is over. I will see you next week. Have a fun weekend. สวัสดีค่ะ